Hey YouTube, I'm Mr. Rembrandt and this is Mr. Rembrandt. So we're going to react to a video of FreshandFit, or a 40-year-old woman on there trying to tell men on why they should not date extremely young women. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I think most hot 20-year-olds running around here in Miami, I'd have zero interest in
of course. But a lot of them don't have a strong father figure at home. They don't come from with good family morals. What I'm saying is that if you take a girl that's young and hot, attractive, with a good family, etc., well, more than likely she's going to be ready made to go by the time she's an adult.
No way,
then why
bro.
is it so rare?
No way. Like you're not.
Wow. So already this older woman is saying that you take a young girl with good values, good moral, good aspects, good family life, and by the time she's 20, she's ready to go and she has the values that are going to make her exceptional for a long-lasting relationship. She's getting ready to respond and say, heck no, that's not even, no, it's not possible. No. Let's see what she has to say.
Emotion, you haven't gone through enough life. And I'm not talking about being a this and that. I'm just talking about
Let me ask you a question.
Period.
How about this? Do you think men care about a woman's experience, realistically speaking?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
See,
it depends what kind of...
hold on.
You're too experienced, I don't like that.
Look, because you're looking at it from a male perspective. I want a guy that's experienced.
No, I'm saying if you're too experienced, they don't like that.
Isn't experienced.
Exactly. It's just that a man is turned off by a woman that is too experienced.
You're giving me the argument. Well, what about a girl that's experienced? Men don't care about that.
No, and they should, because if you're looking for a wife, that's something you should look for. I was married at 22. Looking back at the type of woman I am now.
That was 20 years ago.
It doesn't matter if it was 20 years ago or not.
I still love her. She's amazing.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Look,
go ahead. I'm listening.
The maturity that I had then to the type of woman I am now, you don't know how to be a wife at 19. You barely know yourself.
Like there's a set foundation that you have from your parents, right? That's still there. So you grow into it. We're just saying off rip, right? A girl that has a good household can mature to that. A girl that doesn't have that can't at all.
But not at 19.
How do you know
and
that?
here's the thing. Like, I love how you said this. You said, well, he should care about experience. Well, you know what? Women shouldn't care about height. Women shouldn't care about income.
There you go.
You should like a guy because of his character.
You shouldn't care about youth and fertility. Do I want to breed my child with a short man?
Men shouldn't care about youth and fertility? What are you talking about?
You didn't see what I did there. You didn't see what I did there. It sounds ludicrous for me to say that. Women shouldn't care about these things, but they do. We don't operate on should, could, or would. We operate on what is. So you're saying men should care about a woman's experience. They fucking don't. Just like women shouldn't care about it. Let me finish.
That's a good point.
Women shouldn't care about a man's height, but they do. Women shouldn't care about his earning capacity, but they do. So let's operate on what is instead of what we think it should be. Men don't care about a woman's experience like you care about a man's experience. It's different.
That's you, though.
No,
He's not talking about him. He's not talking about anecdotes. He's on a majority of situations in general. This is the biological facts and rules in the catechism in which men desire, men want. It's not him. She's showing her triggerness here.
Good point. Can I go back to something?
He doesn't agree with you.
Please.
Well,
Zuby doesn't want a girl that's old and is experienced with sex and stuff like that. Unfortunately, when women say experience, sex comes with it.
I totally agree.
Okay, so guys don't want experience like that.
Okay, but just who's talking about that? We're talking about values.
That's what experience means.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times a girl says experience.
That means
dating other men.
So every girl that says experience, it has to do with sex. It can't be about life experience.
A lot of things are about sex, babe.
That's real. Well, then that really sucks because that's not true.
Men don't.
It's not just the sex part.
Generally, how would I put this? Yeah, men don't want a woman with too much experience.
No, of course we shouldn't. But we're talking about sexual experience.
No, honestly, even outside of things with sex, it's definitely not a plus.
Exactly. I will say
it might be a neutral if it's like non-sexual stuff. If it's like, oh, I've traveled to like 40 countries, but honestly, if a man hears that a woman's traveled to 40 countries,
I'm like,
his brain is like, what is she doing?
Yeah, so it's not just summed up and concluded to the sex. It's a whole catechism and a whole numerological list of reasons why.
We can't pay for our own trips, right?
No, you can't.
No, it's not that.
No, you
it's
can't.
just the way a man's
Of course, she's going to be excluded.
The way a man's mind works, right?
You
If
just
a
don't wanna
man
go
says that he's
there.
traveled to 40 countries, then that might be like a pro to a lot of women.
Like 40
If
men.
a woman says she's traveled to 40 countries, or just telling you how a man's brain works,
I understand.
a man is like, were you was she traveling alone? Like, what
She
was she
ain't
doing?
paying
Like, what
Zuby.
was
She
she?
ain't paying
Right.
Zuby.
You know, your
and
brain
no,
goes to places.
Can I
So-
just say, I think the
Go
point that women are trying to make at this table is that when you're 19, you don't understand how to handle a lot of life situations that comes
Yep.
out negatively in that relationship because you put it on the man because you have no gauge of how to
You know what I
handle
love?
it
Hold
on
on, stop the
yourself.
show. I love how you guys are trying to tell us, well, when you date with a 19-year-old, you shouldn't like this, you shouldn't like that, blah, blah, blah. Notice how we know that you guys want guys that have money. We know that you guys want guys that are tall. We know that you want guys that are have security, etc. Nobody bats an eye. We're not complaining. We accept that this is what women want. It doesn't matter what I want. That's what they want. And I don't operate on shoulda, coulda, would. But we say, yeah, guys want youth, beauty, fertility. But wait, she's not experienced. She can't do this, blah, blah, blah. Why is it that men say what they want? Women say, well, it shouldn't be that way. But when women say what they want, men don't necessarily say, it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that women want guys that are 6 feet plus tall. I don't make the rules. I just report them. Why is it what women want, it's okay. What men want, oh, no, it shouldn't be that way.
Taboo.
Do you know another
And on top of that, just to add to that, how she's saying that a young woman doesn't know a lot of things about life that are going to come out in a relationship in a negative way. No, I would not agree with that. I would agree that if you have the right young woman in which you're trying to marry, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, okay, in those lower 20s, okay, age category, if she comes from, like that was said in the beginning, the right family, she is open, and she is around the right groups of people, she has the right family, she is exposed to all of the right things, and she has the right morals, father figure, a mother figure, healthy relationship, healthy family. By the time she is an adult, a young adult, she is ready to go in a relationship. And if she is in a relationship with a competent man who is high valued or just competent in general, doesn't have to be high value, it can be mid value. He is going to be able to lead the way in a way that is healthy for the both of them if he is a competent man. And if she is a feminine woman who has all the exceptional values that are conducive to a loving type of traditional relationship, they are going to be fine. She's not going to bring out all of these negative, ridiculous, and toxic aspects in a relationship. That's typically what older women do who've been in tons of unsuccessful relationships, who've had relationships with many different guys, who have a baby daddy who's not in the picture, who are 35, 40 years old, who've had a lot of relationships in which ended disastrously or traumatically. The young girl has less baggage. The older women have more baggage. So yes, the older woman has more experience, more this and more that. Okay, that is not necessarily a good thing that is conducive to a relationship. Okay? You don't want something that has, you want an open book that you can write your stories in, right? That's what you're trying to do for the future. You don't want a book that already has all these different types of ridiculous stories and narratives in it. Meanwhile, you're trying to write a healthy story on the pages that already have a story. You're not going to have a book. You're going to have something that looks like what 3-year-olds do when they're trying to color for the first time. Disastrous life. Let's get back into the video.
Y'all just been making arguments for what men want the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be that way. We're not the same.
Another thing that men value a lot, and I don't know if women are aware of this, maybe they're not aware of it or they kind of ignore it, is, and this is linked to the experience thing, which is often linked to age, is men want a woman who is moldable.
Mm-hmm.
Blank slate, baby.
Moldable and cooperative.
Right.
Right. So if a woman already is kind of like
Set in her ways.
rigid and set in her ways,
Mhm.
Yeah.
then that can be a pretty big turnoff.
Right.
And also just practically it cannot work as well, especially if the guy is older and it's like, okay, I want to be, if it's like you already know everything, you've already been everywhere, you've already experienced everything, whatever, then it's like, okay, well, number one, who was all that with and how did all that happen? But number two, it's like, okay, I don't think I can like, you want your girl to be like coachable.
You want your girl to be a blank slate. Okay? You don't want her to be combative. You don't want her to be argumentative. You don't want her to have all these traumas. You want her to be a blank slate.
Bro, no one wants to pay full price.
Okay? When you're a boxing coach, do you want to coach up some guy who thinks he knows how to box and he has all these bad habits and he is uncoachable and there's no need for me? You already know everything. Go to another gym and be a loser like you already are. But if you're going to come to me, I need you to be a blank slate. That way I can teach you what needs to be taught. I can guide you in the proper way, and we can have a functional relationship so that we can win, be winners.
For a car with 100,000 miles on it, I'm going to keep it 1,000 with y'all. Zubi's being nice about it. Men don't want to pay full price, which is marriage, for a vehicle that's been used. They want to get a car with the least mileage possible so that it can bear the trip of driving cross country. That's how men think. We look at y'all as cars. Mileage matters, right? I hate to say it like that, but that's the truth. That's why men typically want younger, beautiful, more youthful women that are, more impressionable, etc.
But when you talk about mileage, are you talking about like bodies?
Bodies are part of it.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. A lot of these young girls got a lot more bodies than older girls.
You're absolutely right.
Again, I noticed this about when you're having a conversation or you're arguing with a woman about a particular thing. They love anecdotal perspectives. They love idiosyncratic situations. And they love to argue on exceptions and not the rules. They love these type of perspectives. And these perspectives are true in microscopic examples. But when you're arguing in objectivity and generalizations and normative analysis and perspectives, these idiosyncratic, anecdotal, and exceptions have no validity in a conversation at all. And it's actually not appropriate to even bring it up at all. And it doesn't actually show that you are objective or highly intellectual in a conversation when you do things like this.
Here's the thing. You're right. Okay, you're right. But here's the thing. If I take a girl that's 21 and I line up 100 of them, then I take a girl that's 41 and I line up 100 of them, more than likely the chicks that are 41, more of them are going to have more bodies than the 21-year-olds. So the likelihood that an older woman is going to have a higher body count is just going to be higher. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go with the younger girl because I'm going to assume it's a lower body. Does that mean every girl that's in her 40s has a high body count? No. But the likelihood that she is going to be higher. You take a modern day woman, easily she could fuck, one guy a month or over 20 years? Come on, man, do the numbers.
It's a lot. And sorry, Mar.
Do you know what's crazy? Do you know what's crazy about these conversations is that it's really not that hard for a woman to be like really, really high quality.
It's not for a woman. It's not hard for a woman to be high quality to a man. The problem is women want to go up the hierarchy of socioeconomics, and that's fine. But women don't want to be valuable in a loving relationship to men. They believe the way to life is socioeconomic status. And that doesn't help you in a relationship with the man.
But he doesn't stand out.
Not a competent man, not a smart man, not an intelligent man, not a hardworking man, not an industrious man, not a man with high IQ, not a man with high status, not a man with good income, not a man who's competent, not a man who's a provider. None of that has any validity. Okay? A simp man, a below average man, a whatever these other pills of communities type of guys. I don't even know all of them. Those type of guys are looking for these other type of women. Not a competent man.
They just most refuse. Like
most girls are useless.
So many just refuse to.
Yeah.
Like it's really
like
not.
Most men useless.
But you just said it doesn't matter.
It's difficult for a man to become a top tier man.
Yeah.
It's genuinely difficult.
I would argue
real effort. It takes
that
a lot
there
of
are
time.
more useless women than useless men by far because men must provide value. Women don't have to.
Well, thanks for watching this video. The conclusion is that, listen, it is what it is. And when you look at the peak curves of dating, typically women peak out younger as far as their desirability when it comes to what men want. And men like younger women. It's biologically what it is. And women like older men. And women find men's peak typically around mid-30s, where men are most competent and most desirable. And typically by mid-30s, men are more competent, more desirable, and have higher incomes, and they're more mature and more stable. And again, men across all age categories see women of the lower 20s as peak desirability. It's biological. And we can say, well, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this. Like Myron said, it's biology. Men have what they want, women have what they want. Who are you to change tradition? Who are you to change biology? And they're not social constructs. So thanks for watching the video. Make sure you stick around for another video. I'm Mr. Rembrandt, and this is Mr. Rembrandt.